Thursday. Rowley's dead. I keep telling myself it wasn't my fault, but I know it was. Well, at least partially. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't even the one who made him eat the cheese. But still, guilt courses through my veins like a poison. It was about a month ago when Rowley died, when the teenagers forced him to eat the cheese. I should have been aware of the food poisoning. I mean, that's been there for years, rotting and molding. But I was stupid. I didn't even say anything to him that afternoon when we walked home, white as a sheet, not saying anything. I thought he was going to be fine, so boy, was I surprised when I saw his body on a stretcher being rushed to the ambulance the next morning. I later found out that the night before he had abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. He went to bed to try to sleep it off. The next morning, his parents found his lifeless body in bed when he didn't get up for school. An autopsy revealed that it was caused by a spore-forming bacteria called Bacillus cereus or something. But they were confused, saying that nothing Rowley ate the day would have caused that. I'm the only person besides those teenagers who know what caused it. It keeps me up at night knowing that I could have saved him, but I didn't. Jesus Christ. I really miss him. Friday. I didn't mention this in the last journal entry, but I should. I'm ashamed to admit it, but here it goes. The night Rowley died, probably a few hours before he died, he called me. Greg, I'm feeling really sick. It must have been from the cheese. Yeah, that's what you get for stealing my comic. Should I tell my parents? I think I need to go to the hospital. It's just a tiny piece of cheese, idiot. Just sleep it off. Now stop calling me, I'm tired. I thought writing that down would make me feel better, but now I feel worse. I feel more responsible for his death now. Not only was I the one who provoked those teenagers, I also ignored his cry for help. Fuck me, man. Saturday. Tonight, Dad told me to go and buy some milk from the store. On the way there, I passed by the cemetery. I had a sudden urge to go there and visit Rowley's grave. After a few minutes of searching, I found it. Here lies Rowley Jefferson, 1993 to 2004. It took a while to find it because I didn't know where it was. I didn't go to his funeral. I felt like if I went, people would be able to sense my guilt and know what I'd done. Plus, it would be weird to go to a funeral of someone you killed. Well, I didn't directly kill him. It was those teenagers. But still, I felt majorly responsible. I walked to the store, but outside in the parking lot, I saw 3 familiar-looking people. Wait a minute. They were the 3 teenagers. The 3 teenagers that forced Rowley to eat the cheese. I didn't even consider the possibility of coming across them again. But there they were. Before I could even decide what to do next, one of them noticed me. Hey! Well, there was no point hiding. Without thinking, I spoke up. Remember that cheese you forced my friend to eat? Well, he's dead. You killed him. What? One of them snickered. You're joking. I'm serious, I replied. And I'm gonna get the 3 of you arrested for homicide. They looked at me angrily. Oops. Maybe I should have chosen my words more carefully. They're probably gonna beat the shit out of me. But after exchanging a few looks and nods with each other, the tall one looked back at me. Keep your voice down, punk. He looked around furtively, making sure no one was watching, and pulled something out from his bag. It was a small plastic bag, no bigger than my palm. Inside was a white powdery substance. He thrusted the plastic bag at me. Keep your mouth shut about us, and we'll give you this. I swallowed. I asked what it was, even though I was pretty sure I knew. Crack, he replied. 5 grams, and I'll take it before anyone sees. I looked around. The car park was empty. These guys were willing to give me free stuff in exchange for not ratting them out. I could ask for more stuff and they'd have no choice but to give it to me. So I asked them, do you have a gun? They gritted their teeth angrily. No, they said. Now scram. I know you guys have a gun, I continued. Just give me that and I promise I won't breathe a word that you killed him. They glared at me, assessing the predicament. Fine. One of them reached into his bag and pulled out a Glock. That's all we're giving you. Now fuck off. I took the drugs and the gun and bolted before they could change their mind. Monday. I still can't believe I managed to convince those teenagers for some crack and a gun. I know I shouldn't have, but think about it. When's the next time I was going to be able to get my hands on illegal weapons and drugs this easily? This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I wanted the gun because I always wanted to try one, and I saw Roderick and his bandmates do drugs in the basement once, and I've always wanted to know what it was like to get high. The trouble was, I couldn't do it in my house. My room didn't have a lock and the bathroom door was broken, so in period 2 during physics, I excused myself. May I refresh myself? I ran to the bathroom, and as I suspected, no one was there. I put a generous amount of crack and some baking soda on a metal spoon and put it over a lighter. After it finished cooking, I got out a medical syringe and siphoned it out and jabbed it into my arm. This was it. I waited for a few minutes. Nothing happened. Did I not cook it for long enough? Maybe I didn't put enough crack. I tried to do it all again, when I heard a voice behind me. Greg? What are you doing? What the fuck, Greg? Are you doing drugs? Shh, be quiet. Greg, why the hell are you doing drugs in here? Shrog, keep your voice down or else. What? Where did you get a gun? Shrog, this bullet's going through your brain if you don't shut up. Help! Help me! He's got a... I didn't even remember pulling the trigger. I guess my finger kind of slipped. I stood horrified as Shrog collapsed on the floor like a rag doll, dead, before he even hit the ground. I tried to register what I'd done as I watched the dark blood oozing out of the back of his head and onto the piss-covered tiles. The distant sound of running footsteps snapped me back to reality, and I sprinted, passing Shrog's body and out the door, not looking behind me. As I murdered Shrog, I ran back to class. Everyone was looking around, panicked, and I played dumb, while Mrs. Collins told me a gunshot was heard on the school grounds. Then the principal announced in the intercom for everyone to lock their doors and hide under the desks, as there were reports of a shooting. Everyone was talking nervously. I pretended not to know what was going on, despite my heart pounding somewhere in my throat. It didn't help that the drugs kicked in, and I had to hide the fact that I was high as fuck. Eventually, police arrived, and it wasn't long before they found the body. An hour later, the principal announced that students were to call their parents and to go home early. Mom and Dad were relieved that I was safe. I didn't respond. I was still numb with shock. I didn't sleep that night. Surprisingly, school was open the next day. Then it was announced. We regret to inform that fellow student Shrog Gupta has been shot and killed yesterday. If anyone suspects anyone or has information, please come forward. Shit. It won't be long until someone puts 2 and 2 together and figures out it was me. I'm too young to go to jail. I've got to plant these drugs and this gun on someone quick. But who? After I came back from school, I was going to write in this journal, except it wasn't under my bed where I hid it. It took me a second to realize what that meant. Someone had found it, and they could be reading it, and they'll know who killed Shrog. Did Roderick take it? No. He went to Bill's yesterday, and is still there. Could it be Mom and Dad? No. They greeted me nicely when I arrived. They probably wouldn't act that way if they found out I murdered my friend. That means it has to be... I snatched my journal from Manny's hand, ran back into my room and stuffed it into my closet. How much of it did he read? Can he even read? He can't even pronounce the word brother yet. I should be fine. Boy, was I wrong. Why is Bubby doing drugs and killing people? Luckily, Mom and Dad didn't understand him, but once he learns how to pronounce the letter R, I'm dead. I've got to do something fast. He knows too much. For the record, I'm not proud of what I've done, but at 1 a.m, I went to Manny's room. Wednesday. I woke up at 5 a.m. the next morning and ran to school. It won't be long before Mom tries to wake Manny up, only to find out he's not breathing. I tried to push those thoughts away and instead focused on what was important, getting rid of the gun and drugs. At lunch, I noticed that Fregley's bag was slightly open. This was my chance. I ran into the principal's office and told them that I saw Fregley with the gun. Immediately, they called the police, and it wasn't long before the police burst into the cafeteria. I wasn't expecting them to tackle Fregley to the floor and beat the absolute shit out of him. I admit I felt a bit bad as I watched him being dragged out of the school handcuffed, but hey, Nobody cares about that weirdo anyways. For the first time in days, I felt as though a huge weight has been lifted off of me. I was safe now, but there was still something nagging me. We had an assembly the next period, and Mr. Winsky brought me up on stage and congratulated me for exposing the dangerous culprit in our school. Then he gave me back my safety patrol badge for my bravery and heroism as an award. That means I'm getting bully protection and a free pass from half of pre-algebra again. This was going great. The whole school was talking about me now. This definitely puts me higher on the popularity scale. I'm probably going to be in like the top 5 most popular kids in my school now. Bryce even let me sit with the other popular kids. In social studies, Holly smiled at me and said, "Hi, Greg." She finally remembered my name. Everything was perfect. After school, I went home and saw Roderick, alone, watching TV. He said Mom and Dad were in the hospital with Manny. Good. But there was still something nagging me. What was it? When I got to my room, it hit me. Fingerprints. I've definitely left fingerprints on that gun and those drugs, and they would find out. Why didn't I clean it to make sure the evidence was gone? I started to pace around my room. Would they find out? How long would it take? That's when I heard a knock on the door. Is this 12 Surrey Street? We would like to speak to a Mr. Gregory Heffley. Fuck! With only my journal and pen, I jumped out of the window and onto the front lawn. Then, I took off on the street. Where was I going? I didn't know. All I knew is that I had to get away. Ignoring my pounding heart and aching legs, I ran into the night. 20 minutes later, I stopped, panting. Where was I? I looked around. I had unknowingly taken myself all the way to the cemetery. And in front of me was Rowley's tombstone. This was all because of the cheese. If the cheese never existed, Rowley wouldn't have died, causing all this mess. Yes, this isn't my fault. Oh, who am I kidding? It was me. I was the one who angered the teenagers. I was the one who started the fight because my comic idea was taken. I was the one who ignored Rowley's cry for help. I was the one who insisted on getting the gun and drugs. I was the one who murdered Chirag. I was the one who murdered Manny. I was the one who planted the whole thing on an innocent person. It was me. I've lived my entire life manipulating and fucking other people's lives for my own gain. I've hurt everyone who had the detriment of knowing me, and I'm finally facing the consequences. Now I need to make a decision. Do I come clean? Fuck me. There's no point in living anyway. I've made too many shitty mistakes in my life that I wish I could change, but it's too late now. There's a point where, when you're being chased, you have to turn around and fight whatever's chasing you, but I'm a coward. After writing this, I'm going to George Washington Bridge and throw myself off. It's only an hour walk from here. I can get there before the police find me. It's a 600-foot drop. The impact would definitely kill me. If it doesn't, the hypothermia will. I wonder what my parents will think of me after I die. Would they miss me? Or will they be glad I'm dead after knowing all the shitty things I've done? I thought about Rowley. Would I meet him again? For the first time in my life, I considered the possibility of heaven. Well, if it is real, I know I'm definitely not going there. Mom always told me to fear hell, but I wonder if they would even let a piece of shit like me in hell. Whatever I'm in for, I deserve it. Goodbye. The Daily Herald, Wednesday, the 24th of April, 2004. Update on comatose delinquent Greg Heffley. 11-year-old Gregory Heffley, guilty of cocaine possession and use and murder of fellow student Chirag Gupta and his younger brother Emmanuel Heffley, is still currently in the state of comatose after leaping off George Washington Bridge. It is believed that after the delinquent realized that he was about to be arrested, he resisted by running away. The jump is believed to be an attempt. 2 witnesses reported seeing him climb over the fence and leap off the 604-foot drop. An ambulance arrived and found his body after 30 minutes of searching. Despite crushing his spinal vertebrae and losing the ability to move 90% of the muscles in his body, he had survived, and he was in an unresponsive comatose. Neuroimaging techniques have shown that he is still thinking, however. He has been muttering strange words in his vegetative state. Some of the phrases were, "Roderick rules, dog days, and long haul." Doctors have hypothesized that Heffley will be unaware that he is unconscious and is dreaming about his life. Heffley's father, Frank Heffley, asserted that he had no idea what his son was up to and no signs of abnormal behavior. His mother, Susan Heffley, unable to comment, Recent police investigations have discovered that Heffley may have also been responsible for the death of Rowley Jefferson. Heffley's phone call histories have shown that he had an argument with Jefferson, talking about the consumption of a cheese. This will be further investigated. When Heffley wakes up, he will be interrogated, but so far, there seems to be no sign of his coma ending. I was about to say poor guy because he ended up in a coma and his best friends were dying. He had to, off his own brother, and then it came to me, this guy's such a horrible person in this story. I think this is one of the worst Gregs in the Diary of Wimpy Kid fanfiction universe we have probably ever seen. This guy was about to turn in the teenagers that caused Rowley's death and then thought, let me take the white powder that you have on you, plus give me a gun, and then let me do the white powder at school, then kill one of my good friends, Shirag. Then Manny finds out, so he has to kill Manny. Like, this guy's such a bad person. Like, it's off the rails in this story. Let me know what you guys thought about the cheese. I really didn't think it was gonna go that crazy with, Greg trying to profit off of Rowley's untimely death, but he did it. And by the end of the story, he might not be getting out of this. He might be waking up from that coma and have to face the consequences. I'm hoping he does because I hate this Greg in this story so much. So that's gonna do it for me. If you guys enjoyed, of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to turn on that bell for notifications so you never miss another upload in the future. If you have any stories that you want me to read in a later video, put it in the comments and I'll add it to my list. I got a big list going and I want to be knocking down these videos a lot faster than I have been. I know it's been a little while, but I'm trying to get my videos back on track. So again, that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great rest of your day or night depending on when you're watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.